Now, if pensions are considered in that manner as a mixed package, the state would provide the basic welfare needs. And I know you're going to tell me, well, we've got state pension, which is mad out there. But the basic state pension really is not basic. It doesn't provide enough. Certainly, I can spend in a day what they give you in a week. That's my husband's problem, not yours. Okay. So the state would provide the basic welfare needs, however they are defined, and the individual accompany the remainder. The occupational scheme plus some private savings will provide the wherewithal for the enjoyment part, once the state has taken the sting out of the endurance aspect. But again, we've got to make sure that we are providing for the care part for those people that really do need to be cared for. Because at the moment, when people go into care homes, I don't know if you've been into any care homes recently, it's not somewhere that I would want to end my life. And the people who look after those people, my heart goes out to them, because it is, again, not something I would want to do it. But we do need to find a way of making sure that the facilities that are provided are at the level that we would want to be in ourselves, if that's possible. So, in conclusion, we've got a few things that I want you to now come back to me on. What can pensions actuaries suggest to solve this problem? And when I said this problem, you've seen I've given you about half a dozen problems. Perhaps I should have had a slide picking out each of them. Do you think this problem can be solved? Or is it just something that it can't be solved and let it go away? But I don't think that is really at all valid. We do have to care for the weak in our society, or what are we doing on this earth? Is this a business opportunity for the pensions industry? Are individuals prepared to add to their pension contributions to pay for this? How would you invest for this problem? How would you define adequate? What should be the function of a pension fund? So now I'm going to put you, it's over to you lot now.
Right. Thank you very much indeed, Geraldine, for that presentation. Questions from the floor? Anyone?
I'll make an observation that in discussions about these sort of products, focus has been very much on accumulation of capital to be there for the need when it occurs. I mean, one accumulation of capital is housing, of course, and there's a lot of nonsense about trying to prevent people from having to sell their homes, when actually in a lot of cases that's the very thing that should be there to provide for some of the capital that's needed. Certainly if you've got a single person who needs long-term care help, the idea that the capital in the home should be reserved for the next generation does seem to me to be far-fetched. But what's missing is the actuarial side, which is how do I get an insurance so that if there's 10 people and 2 of us need long-term care, the 2 who need long-term care get a payout on the insurance, the other 8 don't get anything. Which is the way life insurance, term insurance works, and so on and so forth. And I suspect the sticking point there is that the reserving that will be needed because of the uncertainty would make those products quite difficult to finance, and I think that's where it found us.
If I can come in on that, Peter always is good mileage, and I think Peter has given us the kernel of our solution. We're sitting here as pensions actuaries, and this is a pensions conference. There are life actuaries, and they have a life conference. There's a general insurance or short-term insurance conference where short-term actuaries work. Here is a wonderful example of where the pensions actuaries and the life actuaries should get together, and between them maybe have a one-day seminar from the Institute where they can knock their heads together and come up with a solution which uses, life methodology to solve a pension problem together with the pensions actuaries. brains working together.
But if we want to be able to guarantee that the nursing costs are going to be paid, I mean, we have to allow for the possibility that there is some kind of sponsor. I certainly can't see an employer starting up this kind of sponsored arrangement because of the potential, increase in cost. When you have it comes on balance, and you have a lot of people in retirement, not many people in employment. The same sort of problem we've had with the pension schemes.
But this wouldn't be in addition to the current pension scheme benefit. This would be reallocating and cross-subsidising what is actually happening, because what I think I'm saying is that some people don't really need the pension, whatever need means, because they can carry on working in an albeit reduced capacity. They have done their own savings, whereas some people have very great needs, and we have to sit down and redesign what it is that we want a pension fund. What are the objects of a pension fund? What should be the objectives? And go right back to the drawing board at square one. What is the welfare aspect? What is the enjoyment aspect? Who should be receiving the pension? Should it be in a final salary, the chief executive with, who for whatever reason is, still exceedingly healthy, or should it be the, I don't know, whatever I say as being the low one will come across wrong, but a low-paid individual who has Alzheimer's and needs constant care. No matter what his final salary pension was, it would never have been enough to pay. He has more care needs, more welfare needs than the chief executive. So somewhere between the two, the benefits, the design of the scheme has to be rethought to cover what's actually needed.
I agree that we have to re-examine the concept and bring it up to date and consider today's issues. I understand that. But I think that somewhere there's got to be a guarantor of last resort to put money into whatever arrangement is put together so that the cost can be made. You mentioned an Alzheimer's patient and the care needs. That person could be in a residential home for many years.
Yes.
So we've got a similarity between the problem of longevity in pension schemes and possibility of longevity in a nursing home.
But then you just need to do the sums and decide what is affordable, and that's why I say it may be that you don't provide anything other than basic welfare needs to people who retire, but that way the money that would have gone to large final salary scheme pensioners will be diverted to people who have care needs. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is a perfect solution, but it's the beginnings of something where we need some working parties to look at and see the way forward, because it's no good coming to a pension conference and having a plenary session like we did this morning, where you're told that it's just not working. We're not going to have pension funds in 5 or 10 years. That something is needed, and if something's going to be needed, we ought to start looking at it now rather than when it suddenly hits us in 5, 10 years' time.